Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. Today we start off in the main menu, which is something I don't think we've done before. Going to show you a mod first of all. Once this mod is installed, you'll be able to see it through the content manager right here, and this is it, the assets. So this is what they normally look like, and they're not too interesting I guess. But someone's made a mod to redo the whole assets thing, which is actually really useful. As you've seen in the playthrough, we have loads and loads of parks, and a lot of them we don't use. And also it can be pretty difficult to kind of sift through them all and pick the ones out that you want. So you can activate and disable them right here, and you can organize them in different ways, which is really cool. So at the moment they're alphabetical, and then you can do it to when they were last updated. And these are the things I was looking for a moment ago. These do not appear to be working in my game, I think. These are like alternative models for some of the regular buildings that you have in the different zones, and I'm yet to see them in the game, but they appear to be there. So you can sort these out by yeah, lots of different ways right here. We don't have to go through all of them. Let's go back to name, and you can also activate all, deactivate all at once. You can make some your favorites, and then you can go through each of the views right here. So for regular buildings, this is some of the stuff I was looking for. These ones actually don't go into the right category, which is interesting. I had a look through power and healthcare, and I was wondering where these DP buildings were, but there you go. So you can see there's residential and commercial, and there should be some of them for this section, but I don't know why they don't appear. So as we go through, you can see I downloaded a couple of custom trees. This is something I'm hoping modders will actually look into a bit more. The trees are very powerful, and with a few more different ones, you could do a lot with your city. For example, imagine having some apple trees, you know, with little bits of red in them, or just different coloured trees, and I just feel like that's an overlooked part in the community at the moment. So here we've got our intersections. I've actually disabled some of my testing ones, which is good because that menu was a little cluttered. And then parks is the one that I really want to go through. However, I'm a little afraid to disable something that we used in the city. So there's a lot of these beach ones that I didn't really like too much, and we've used some of them in the city. However, I don't know which ones we can take out. I've taken out this one right here, the container park. I went and checked that one out. It looks pretty cool, but when you place it down in the world, half of these containers aren't even here. There's like 3 on the plot, and it looks kind of silly. And also disabled these corner modules because we're not going to use those, and so we're just kind of reducing the amount of clutter in the parks menu, which is pretty cool. And that's what mainly this is powerful for. You download something, you're not too sure about it, and then this makes it nice and easy to remove it. So the garbage center here, or the recycling center, is something that will take garbage and over time very slowly remove it with no pollution, I do believe is the idea. So an interesting function that's been added into the game, because obviously that works differently from other garbage removal methods. So that's something I want to try in the future. But if we click through these, you saw like we downloaded the rural station, and they don't appear in these tabs yet. So maybe, oh there you go, the rural station actually does, but some of the other ones don't. So that's pretty much everything right there. Disabled the medium football stadium. I got that when I got the big one, and I don't think we're going to build that in the city at all. Anyway, let's hop on into the world. Just wanted to show you that quickly. Very cool mod. There'll be a link to it in the description box. Alright, we are back in the city. I'm going to select a random vehicle, and we're going to watch this guy drive through the city while I talk to you. So, as always in these videos, I remind you 2,000 likes for another episode tomorrow. I have been getting some negative comments about that, so I want to make something clear. Doing YouTube is my job, and that's a little bit crazy. I know, playing games for a living, it's somehow been a thing, and I absolutely love it. I love doing this. However, you have to make sure that your YouTube channel is healthy if you want to do this, that things are done right, so that the videos that you make, which I do enjoy doing, are nice and productive for your channel. And so early on in the series we did agree that I would do this daily if there was a certain amount of likes, and it's not something I exactly want to do. It's not like I really love likes and think they're the best thing ever. It's just that YouTube made a system where if you decided to click on a little button down below, it means that that video does a little bit better in the system, and so it keeps your channel healthy if lots of people like them. So that's why we do the like exchange. Just wanted to explain it to some of you who we're not too keen about the whole thing, and you don't have to if you don't want to. There's other people that will do it, so it's all good, really. Alright, so back into it. Let's get right into the city here. We're going to be doing things. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to do in the city here, and we're going to start off with this road right here. So I fixed the problem. Let's grab a fire station. Let's plop it down here. It can now go up there. Guess what? There are actually 3 sections to this road. I didn't really notice it. There's one there, there's one on that side, there's also one on the middle hidden right down there. So eventually I figured that out and changed the road. And also, this area up here is called Astropolis. Or, no, I've said that completely wrong after typing it in a moment ago and going over the pronunciation. It is Aristopolis, and I really like that name. Very cool little name for the observatory up the top of the hill. There are quite a few suggestions for this which I thought were really cool. Sentinel Ridge was a very nice suggestion right there. Really like that name. Also Starlight Hills, and someone suggesting Joe's Hills as a referral to Joe Hills from the Hermitcraft server, of course. So I thought that was really nice, but that's the name that I decided to go with, and every time I pronounce that, I'm pretty sure I'm going to pronounce it the wrong way. I tend to do that. Once I get an idea in my head, it stays there. So yeah, that's this little area right here. We've fixed that problem. There is something else I would like to address in the city. If we go down here and look at our natural resources, we are producing pretty much next to nothing on all of these. You can see 10 units a week for our oil, our ore, and forest and fertile land are doing pretty much nothing. So we kind of discussed about how the materials have sort of disappeared from underneath here. I don't like that because, you know, you want to get on with playing the game and not moving around industries all the time. So that was kind of annoying. But I thought what we would do is over here on the oil is dezone some of this and then rezone it on the other side. So in fact we're going to dezone the entire thing, and I know this might not be the best way to go about doing things, but I'm kind of annoyed with this area. It's just quite tedious to manage, and so we'll just do things the quick way. So if we swap all of that over like that, we should produce more oil. That means we're not going to import as much. And looking at this and how much of it has fallen apart here, it really does feel like it's all about the materials underneath, more so than getting workers over here. Perhaps, I don't know, I'm speculating a little bit. So let's get rid of that tile, all of that, all of this, and then we'll fill in this chunk right here. There we go. Is that all of it unzoned? I think it is. We'll do that bit. Let's do those sides as well, so that's a little bit further away from where we're working before. So maybe we'll get some industries there that are actually going to produce some materials. And then over in this area, it's the same thing again. We've got to rebuild the roads on the other side. You know what? We've got no services over here, so I don't think we need to overthink this too much. Let's fill in that and that side, and then we'll extend these roads across for this area. We're just going to unzone everything. This might have some other consequences, by the way, some sort of repercussion, but I don't think it will be too bad. Maybe a lot of unemployment for a moment. So let's go across by 2, and it would be 1, 2, would it? Or 4? I think it would be 4. Like that? Yeah, it's 4. Okay. And then this is a new area. So hopefully people will walk this far, because that's the only way they're going to get over there. Let's do those two and that strip right there. Yes, I know that goes over to the side a little bit. And power is now going to be a thing. Of course it is. Let's make sure these new areas are able to get power. And we'll just drag it across like that. Yep, you can destroy that thing. So all of that's going to get power. Our next one is going to go up the top. I'm really glad actually that message came up, because I would have not noticed that. I know what I'm like, and that would have been something I'd have overlooked. So over here we're going to need something to go across to there probably, and then all of this new zone will be hooked up. And then over here we need to go right across to the back. Let's go in like that. That should do it. Okay, so it might take a while for that to sort itself out. So have a look, the employment percentage is at 97%. You know, our city size is so big that when we shut down a few jobs like here, it's not going to make a massive difference, is it? So let's have a look at what's going on over here. We are getting tons of materials constantly being sorry, I was about to say exported. I think I mean imported. And it's an ore truck, and it's exporting ore goods. That's interesting. I thought it would be importing. I was kind of curious if we were going to see the raw materials here. So look, importing goods. Importing goods. I wonder if they import raw materials. Probably not. Maybe it's just straight goods. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. There we go. Importing oil products to box factory. So maybe that is what we were looking to find out. So I got a comment about this saying that what we should do is put more of these stations, more ways to import goods into the city to correct this problem that we have over here, because they were suggesting that where our natural resources has run out, we're no longer creating as many goods for these guys, and we can't import enough. So that's something that we're going to do. We're going to disconnect all of our train lines from which one is it? Just our internal train network for passengers, and then we're going to put them all on cargo bays and stuff like that to bring in materials, because managing this area over here is going to be a real pain if you have to keep tearing up what you built and then putting it back down again. And eventually you'll run out of everything anyway, so we should probably rely on importing. Yes, this way is more profitable, I've been told that, but we want to make a nice and stable city, don't we? And look at our income, it's dropped right down now. So I'm just looking at my notes, and I think we've gone over everything. Okay, so there's one other thing that was suggested by you guys, which was to adopt a new policy in this area, which was recreational use, allow the use of drugs and stuff. So that'll increase our tax income and tourism in the area where people will come and buy goods. So even though that's an ethical question, this is a computer game and we're just doing that to create more money in this area right here. So that seems to have helped straight away. That's jumped up. Anyway, let's start zoning our new area. I saw something on the Reddit, and I'm trying to remember if it was for commercial or for... Yeah, it was definitely for residential. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I definitely remember it being about residential. So, what they suggested doing was creating strips of houses like this, 4 deep, and space them out by 1. Now, this will lower the land value because it's a smaller building. However, what they observed is that these smaller buildings actually have more households than the largest blocks, and they also fill up more. So a block like this is never going to be full, apparently. 18 out of 25. If we click on most of these big ones, we'll see something similar. 18 out of 25, 21 out of 26, and 19 out of 25, whereas these smaller segments will actually have more households and more people overall. They generally fill up. So that's something we're going to experiment with. What I'm probably going to do is put a park between each and every one of these strips, but at the moment we're dealing with that good old problem of residential demand, aren't we? Because there's none of it. We have to build more commercial first. So somewhere in this area we're going to have some shops as well. In fact, this is the kind of place to put the shops, right? Down the main high street, and put the residential on the back ones. So actually let's unzone that and try again. We'll have those on the back, and I'll do all of this off camera, of course. So we're going to go with low density zoning. This is mainly going to be a residential area. So let's fill in this strip right here. We'll just have pure commercial for this road, and we'll probably put that on both sides. Except all of this stuff is a bit kind of jacked up, isn't it? So I'll do that properly. We'll just zone in the big areas. That's one big area. Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, I just want to do the front sides, not the back sides. Yeah, so it looks like I'm going to zone most of that off camera then. So we're going to have a strip of commercial down the back here. We'll put houses either side and all around. And let's just speed up the game because there's demand for this. Is anyone going to move in? Usually there's something instantly. And there you go, someone's moved in. That's terrific. So let's start zoning all of this and let's see how it goes. So it looks like expansion will be a little bit slow for the meantime. So why don't we put down some services in this area? We don't need to do health. The entire city is covered, which is awesome. We do need to do fire though. And looking at this right here, we were trying to cover this little area, which may not be a top priority actually. If we put down a big fire station, that's the one that covers a larger area. Look at that. Look at the spread around there. So I think we should look at this area. You can see it's very green, so putting it up here is not going to do a lot. If we put it down on this road, there's kind of a little bit that starts to go grey up in the top left. So if we put it on that street, yeah, and then we cover all of this bit right here as well. So actually I think that spot right there seems to cover just about everything, and a little bit of Aristopolis. There you go, I said it correctly. So let's zoom in and let's put it right there. That's perfect. That's where it's going to go. Okay, cool. Then police station, just doing the same thing again. Do we actually want to buy a full-on police headquarters or just the basic thing? Because you can see our coverage already goes into this area a bit. Crime is not a problem in general in this city. Maybe just putting it right there. That looks like a good place to put it. Although it's not close to the motorway. It doesn't really need to be close to the motorway. Let's go and put this thing, that bit right there. That's where we're going to put it. Okay, good stuff. So we've got a police station now. We need some death care, of course. Let's put in the crematorium. And I think our coverage of this is like really good. You can see obviously it says that it's all the way up. But if you look at the way some of the other systems work, and wow, I've managed to mess up that menu quickly. Nope, go away. If you look at the way the other ones work, they just need to be above the yellow bit because of those death problems. I think we've probably overbuilt the amount of crematoriums. But anyway, we'll build another one in this area to make sure it's all covered. We put it right there, we get all of that area, but not so much down here. So maybe that bit. That looks like the place to put it. That's a nice good spread. Let's actually put it... Yeah, we'll go with it right there. Okay, that's cool. So that's the death coverage done. We've done fire and police, and now we need education. Yeah, we were doing some educated workers before, weren't we, for this area? Where is it? Down here? But it looks like this experiment is failing horribly. I mean, the game's been running for a while now, and we've got no new areas emerging. It looks like we're going to have to import goods because that's just a failed experiment, it feels like. Anyway, let's put down some education then, so our people in our city are well educated. There is a building we're going to build soon that takes care of all education, so we'll probably come back round and turn this off again. So the primary school or elementary school's spread isn't quite as big, so we're going to have 2 of these in the area. Okay, so 4 in total is what we've gone for. 1, 2, 3 and 4 down here. I kind of thought we'd only need 2. Maybe we need 2 high schools. This is quite a big area actually. It's probably going to increase the population a fair amount. So that has a really nice coverage. What if we bring it down here a little bit? What about on that road? Yeah, I think we just need the one. We'll put it right there. And that covers us for education. And then for transport, it's just something we've got to hook up later on. So for the metros, we do want to have some metros in here. I reckon we'll put 1 for this area. Maybe 1 somewhere down here. Let's put it next to this building. Another one. Where's a nice little section like that? Excellent. 1 there. And these are going to be noisy for the neighbours in the area, which kind of sucks. And then last of all, we'll put 1 over here as well. So we're going to hook all of those up eventually, and we've got to hook it up to the station over here as well. And I think that's a nice coverage right there. Okay, you can see how our zoning is down here. I had one a moment ago where I put it on the edge, and it created 1 on this side of the road and 1 on that side of the road, which is not what we want. We want them like this. But the thing is, we need to get their land value all the way up. So we put down some services. That means it'll just be time before they kind of recognise them and they go up. And I was about to put down some flower beds, and of course, got to go through this menu again. And every time you change something in this thing, it rearranges itself, and it becomes a real pain to find the one that you're looking for. But usually, it's just around here. Flower path. It should be any one of these. There we go. 1 by 4. So we're going to put those in between. So 1 on the edge. And then like this, and this means that every building is basically going to have a park right next to it, which is pretty crazy. How much does this cost? 4 a week, yep, nice and cheap, so that's what we're going to go for. Look at this, these things have little numbers if you hover over them, that's good to know. And I think I just saw that jump up to 4 right there. I can check the video back and see. Just takes a little bit of time for these to get going. Look, this one's upgrading now, that's good to see. So they're on the way. They're not all filling up. You can see we've got quite a few slots, and slowly they are expanding those. So we had some worker issues. Man, what is up with these seagulls? They are just everywhere all the time, it feels like. So many of them. Yeah, so anyway, it's developing. We had some worker shortages over here, but now that these are popped up, they seem to be fine. Traffic's going to be a thing in this area for a while. Look, you've got another one right there. And I'm just thinking about this extra line. I was checking out what's going on with our areas over there. The oil is starting to go up a little bit, but those other areas just don't want to develop. So I think we're going to have to look at importing more goods. So I've been looking at this line here and thinking, would it be good if we had 2 lines for our cargo imports? But I think that's going to be a little tricky to figure out. So what we'll actually do is use this line that comes over here to add another station. So we are going to demolish this road right here. I should probably upgrade this road. Actually, I think I changed my mind and decided that I was going to build the station over here. Let's have a look. Let's plop down. Why is that extended upwards by 2? I do not know, but let's go over like this, put a road down, and I think that might not be enough space. It's not quite, is it? Oh no, yeah it is. Okay, that's good. I want to put it over here because of the noise. So what we'll do is simply hook this up to this track. It'll be a dead end situation though, so it'll just loop around itself, and then that means that we can pause this and we can stop the trains bringing in people from the outside, and that way we can have more connecting lines for importing goods. I hope that's the way it works. That's what I've been told by some of you guys that I should do, so we're going to give it a try. And if we connect it like that, the connection is good, and now we've got 2 lines right there. I think the 3rd one is over here. Actually, this one is still public transport as well, isn't it? Let's have a look. So we're going over here. Yeah, that's public transport. Interesting. I thought the entire time we had 2 cargo and 1 public transport. Now we've swapped that around. I guess we could leave that for a while. If we wanted to change that though, it would be ever so simple because the connection is on this side. Why don't we actually do that? Why don't we create a ramp like we did over here and make it for both? And just looking at this, is it me or is that little bit right there completely useless? I guess actually it's not if you're coming this way and you want to go back round. Alright, so we're just going to mirror it on this side then, I guess. We're going to go up and over like that. Lots of space. Let's bring it down at least a little bit. Same on this side. There we go. And then across like that. With a little bit of curve, I think, would be the way to do it. So curve inwards and down, or does it not want to do that? How do we get that to work on the other one? Let's have a look. Yeah, so maybe I should have made my connections a little bit wider. Let's redo that. Alright, there we go. That can now be used by both, and that caused that train to disappear, which is not what I was expecting. All the connections appear to be good, so now we can have some cargo coming in as well. I'll keep my eye on that. That's good. So that means, I think that means cargo can now use our public transport line as well. But since they're separated, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I hope not. This one over here is using the public transport line. Where are you going then? If you're on that line, I am not sure. I'm going to follow this train around and find out where it's going. That is really odd. Oh, it's a passenger train. It's green. I got it confused. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, so I decided we'd go with a dead-end station over here since the trains can simply drive in and drive back out again. It's a little bit of a pain to reroute everything every single time. And this area over here is doing alright. You can see we've got our residential area expanding slowly. I put down loads of parks which make it look a little bit ugly, a little bit strange. But I think I might have got this wrong. I'm going to have to go back and find that Reddit post again because you can see this one right here is 5 stars and it's 5 out of 6. So this takes up 4 spaces. The big ones take up 4 times the amount. So you could argue that 5 times 4 is 20, and you know you've only got 19 in this one and 19 in that one. But the thing is, you've got to space these apart by 1. So I need to go and find that Reddit post because something here isn't right. I could have swore they showed you these buildings had about like 12 or 15 or so households. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Probably did something wrong. I need to go back and check on that. But the experiment's coming along, our population's going up, people are moving in, which is good. We've got a deaf problem, or someone at least is waiting to be transported, and just a little bit of traffic in this area. So far it's come along nicely. There's a lot more to go in this area though, and that's going to wrap up this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, 2,000 likes for another episode tomorrow. I'm sure you guys will do it. Your support is always amazing on this series, and it's awesome. We're going to keep playing this awesome game. And yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.